Okay, this is section SSLE, solving systems of linear equations. And in question C10, we're asked to kind of rework example IS. And the thing that characterized IS was it was this system right here, which has 4 variables but only 3 equations. So if it is solvable, it's going to have many solutions. And it turned out that it did. This was the solution provided in the example. A and B are independent variables, so we can choose x3 and x4 to be any numbers we want. But then x1 and 2 are limited, so they're functional based on what we choose for 3 and 4. Okay? What it asks is, let's assume particular values for 3 and 4. How many solutions do we get to the system? And then it says, let's assume particular values for 1 and 2. How many solutions do we get to the system? So let's start with this one right here. If we assume that x3 is 6 and x4 is 2, well, again, that's A and B. So we can find x1. X1 is going to be equal to -1 minus 2 times whatever A is, and that's 6, plus 3 times whatever B is, and that's 2. So that gives me, this is going to be -12 plus 6, which is -6, minus 1 is -7, so that's x1. And then x2 will be equal to 4 plus whatever A is, and that's 6, minus 2 times whatever B is, and that's 2. So that's going to be 10 minus 4, or 6. So x1 is 7, x2 is 6, x3 is 6, and x4 is 2. That's one solution, so this would be the solution set. -7, 6, 6, and 2. So there would just be that one solution set if x3 were 6 and x4 were 2. Now let's assume that x1 is 17 and x2 is 14. This is a little more complex because now I have to set up a new system of equations. So with x1 being equal to -17, that means -1 minus 2a plus 3b is equal to -17. And further, 4 plus a minus 2b is equal to 14, okay? Well, that gives me a system of 2 equations with 2 unknowns, a and b. When you solve that system, you end up with the fact that b has to be equal to -4 and a has to be equal to 2. So once again, even though we chose x1 and x2, which are actually the dependent variables in the system, there's only one set of values for a and b that actually produce these 2 values for x1 and x2. So once again, we have one solution, and that solution would be -17 for x1, 14 for x2, a is x3, so that would be 2, and b, -4 is x4. So that would be the one solution to the system if x1 and x2 were chosen as -17 and 14. So even systems with infinite numbers of values tend to be locked in once a couple of the coordinates are selected. The other ones tend to be locked in.